Hello everyone. Welcome to another yoga class. I'm so excited you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to do poses that I call quad poses. Quad is for like quadruple, quad. What are some other words with quad in it? Our quads, I don't know if you know, like the muscle group is your quads, but anyway, it's called quads because of four. Quad is four, and these are poses that you're doing on all fours, meaning either on your hands and your knees or on your hands and your feet. So like when we're different kinds of animals, we think of dogs, cats, foxes. What are other animals that have four legs? Bears walk on all fours sometimes. There are lots of them, right? But we're going to do our quad poses today. So we'll do still our welcome, breathe, move as our quad poses, relax, and thank you. Okay, so let's get started. We'll get started with our welcome, and if you want to close your eyes, you can. If you want to sing along as you start to know the little song that we sing, you're welcome to. You can also just listen. But we think of yoga as our body, our brain, and our breath. So our welcome just kind of gets our body, brain, and breath in the game. My body is sitting, my brain starts to slow. My breath keeps me steady, I'm ready to go. Namaste. And in the beginning, we think of namaste, meaning we see the love within ourselves. So just focus this time on how awesome you are. And you can leave a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly, or you can just choose one of those places, or neither. Just start to notice your breath. See if you can feel any changes as you're breathing in and breathing out. Do you feel your belly or your chest moving as you're breathing? Take a couple more breaths here before we start to move our body. All right, when we do quad poses, I like to just take a minute to rub your hands together and wake them up, maybe even giving yourself a little hand massage, because we're going to be on our hands a lot, so we want to wake up our hands, maybe roll out your wrists, and then same thing with your feet. You can give your feet a massage, just give them a little rub. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your feet. You could, move your ankles around, like circle your ankles around. Okay, and then we'll come into all fours. So to start for all fours, we'll start on hands and knees in tabletop. Okay, so you don't have to worry about all the words that I say, because you should listen to your body way more than you listen to me, right? But a way that we could set up, if you want to think about your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders might be lined up. So it's called stacking your joints, because you're stacking like blocks. Think of your wrist as a block, your elbows a block, and your shoulders a block. And that's just to distribute the weight evenly. Because if you notice when you're on your hands like this, now your hands would be holding up a lot of your upper body weight. Okay, so you stack your joints to make it kind of feel safe. But like I said, listen to your body more than you listen to me. So different people have different ways of making this feel good, and some of them might be having your hands a little bit farther away or a little bit closer together. So just find what feels good for you, find what works for you. And then same thing with your knees. So your knees would be stacked under your hips. And then your legs, the bottom part of your legs are out straight. So you're not crossing your ankles together. They're just out straight. Knees, hips, out straight. And then you're on your hands and knees. Joints are stacked. And your back is straight. And then notice where your eyes fall. And I'm saying notice your eyes because that'll really make you think about your neck. So if you're looking forward, that does something not great to your neck. You're going to be like, ugh, that doesn't feel good. And then your back starts to compensate. And that's a different pose. We'll get there. But for table, you want your neck to just be a straight line from your back. Okay? Too many words. Tabletop. This is tabletop. Now, you can drop your belly and look up. This is cow pose. So your back has an arch in it as if you could collect a bunch of rain. And then you can round your back and look down like you would pour all that rain off. This is cat pose. So cow, you drop your belly and look up. And cat, round your back and look down. One more, cow, drop your belly, look up. And cat, round your back and look down. Okay, come back and sit on your feet for a minute just so you can give your wrists a break, because if you notice, we're going to be on our wrists a lot to do these poses, and your wrists might start to hurt a little bit. So just, if they start to hurt at all, feel free to come off them anytime. You can just sit back, take a break, listen to your body. Okay? We're going to go back into tabletop and do balancing table. So balancing table it's going to look like this, but bear with me. You don't have to do it yet. It's going to look like this, where we do one side and then the other side. But we're going to do it step by step, okay? Because it's kind of important how you set it up. So you're in tabletop. Now we'll do your right arm forward. And that's it. Just your arm for right now. And lower it down. Okay? Now your left arm forward. And lower it down. Now if you notice, when you do one side, your body kind of starts to move a little bit. It might try to compensate. It might try to make up for the off balance. So the best way to hold still is to notice your core and see if your core can help you keep still there. Okay? Now we'll do our legs before we do both at the same time. So do right leg back and feel your belly strong. Lower down. And then do your left leg back, belly strong, and lower down. Okay, now we're going to try both. You don't have to do it. You can just watch, or you can do one at a time. But I'm going to do right arm forward, left leg back. And lower down. Now left arm forward, right leg back. And lower down. One more on each side. Right arm forward, left leg back. Hold your belly strong. Lower down. and left arm forward, right leg back. Belly strong and lower down. Good. And then you can come back and sit on your feet if you want. You know it's hero pose if you did the seated video already. You can roll your wrists around or you can just give them a break for a minute. And then I'll tell you the few poses we have left. We're going to do downward dog, plank, and forward fold. And then we'll end in child's pose. Child's pose is kind of a quad pose, and it's also kind of a laying down pose, which we'll do in another video. So I just like to end in child's pose because it's really cozy. Okay, so let's come back into tabletop. So as you can notice, tabletop is pretty much like the foundation, the start of where we do all of our other poses from. Okay, so we'll come back to tabletop. And we'll come into downward dog. Before we just shoot right up into downward dog, I like to just tuck my toes and then let my knees come up a little bit and hover, and then lower them down. And tap the tops of your feet. Tap, 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 tap. And then tuck your toes, lift up and hover, and down, and tap, 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 tap. And then tuck your toes again, and now you'll lift all the way up, downward dog. Okay, so your knees can be bent as much as it's comfortable for you. Your legs don't have to be straight, and your heels don't have to be on the ground. So see how my toes are, but my heels aren't? Yours might be, they might not be. Doesn't matter. So downward dog. Now, all you're going to do for plank is hinge forward, plank, hinge back, downward dog, hinge forward, plank, hinge back, downward dog. And then you're going to walk your hands slowly, 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 slowly until they're back towards your feet. And then hang. So there are kind of two poses here. There's a pose called ragdoll where you're just hanging and you might swing like this and you might do your elbows. I kind of count that more in the standing pose because you could be just on your feet. But when I say forward fold, it usually means that we're touching the ground too. And your knees can be bent. Remember, you don't have to, your hamstrings are probably tight and you don't have to be able to touch your toes. It's also just the way your body design is made. So some people have longer legs than they do arms, and the body design is just different, right? But forward fold, I think of your feet on the ground and your hands or fingers. Okay? Now that's kind of it for our quad poses, but I'm going to ask you to come down onto your knees. You can put your knees wide apart and your feet together, and then come down into child's pose. So for child's pose, you can have your forehead down. You can have it on your hands. You could stack your hands one on top of the other. You could have your arms out straight. Or you can have your arms down by your side. And then find which one you like best. So if you want, you can try all three and then just see which one you like best. Okay, now that's it for the poses today. So if you're really cozy in child's pose, you can definitely stay like that. This is super, super dark today. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's looking so dark because there's a lot of sunlight coming in, but anyway, If you're cozy in child's pose, just stay there. And if you want to come into, is it not recording and that's why it's dark? No, it is. Sorry. If you want to come into laying on your belly or laying on your back, however you're cozy, you can do that too. So I'm going to lay on my back. And for our relaxation, lay however your body feels comfortable. And I'm going to invite you to imagine that the sun is warming up different parts of your body. And again, you can tune me out. If you know a different way to relax, then just do it. You don't have to listen to me, right? But this is one of my favorite relaxations because I like being at the beach. So when I do this, I imagine that I'm at the beach. And I imagine that the sun is warming up my body. But it's so cool because if you actually pay attention, you can think about it warming up different parts of your body. And you can do this in real life. Like if you go outside, you can actually do this. And it feels really magical because we know that the sun is shining on our whole body when we're laying out there. When we're outside, the sun is on our whole body. But just by bringing your attention to different parts of your body, you kind of feel like the sun is paying special attention to that part. It's so awesome. So if you are a visual person, if you can kind of picture things in your brain, feel free to picture yourself wherever you want, laying out in the sun, maybe on grass or sand at the beach or by a pool. And then feel the sun warming up your toes and your feet. And feel the sun warming up your lower legs. Your knees. And your upper legs. Feel warm, and you feel the energy from the sun. Then you feel the sun warming up your hips, and your belly, and your chest. And if you're laying on your belly, you might feel it warming up your back. You feel the sun warming up your shoulders. And the energy spreads down your arms, your elbows, your lower arms, you feel the warmth on your wrists and on your hands and fingers. And you feel the warmth up to your neck and your face. And your hair. And then you feel it all over your whole body. The sun gives us heat to feel warm, light to see, and energy. And I wonder if you noticed certain parts of your body felt warmer than other parts. And I wonder if you noticed that some parts of your body felt really easy to to bring your attention to and feel warm. And maybe some parts of your body you were more distracted or it felt trickier. It's really interesting. And it's not good or bad. It's just interesting. Be curious. You can come up to sit however you want, but I invite you to bring your knees in towards your chest and rock and roll up as many times as you want, back and forth, back and forth, and do it as much as you want until you come up so that you're in your comfortable seat. And if you feel like you need to move a little, do any kind of movement that you need or that you want. And we end our class how we usually do. We rub our hands together. Your body might feel still a little warm and tingly. You might feel your hands get really even warmer as you rub them together. You feel warm, warm. And gently place your hands over your eyes. And you can think or say, I see love. Rub your hands together again. Placing your hands by your ears, maybe you even cup them, and think or say, I hear love. And rubbing them together one last time. Hands over your heart. I feel love. And hands together at heart center. We end our yoga practice with our special word that we started with. And to me, especially today, the love and light in me and the warmth and the energy in me sees the warmth and the energy in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing a yoga class with me today. And if you were thinking about maybe at the beginning of yoga, how we think about namaste is to us, just be really kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. And then at the end of yoga class, we just share it with each other. You can share it just with me. You can share it with your family, or you can think about sending that love and light out into the world. Whatever you're comfortable doing is so awesome. And even if you just keep it for yourself, that's maybe the best thing you could do. So thank you so much for doing yoga with me today. Please join me again. If you found this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot, and it helps you be able to access more videos and more stuff that we're putting out there. And if you have not already, also check out our website. We have lots of cool stuff there too. So breatheandplayeveryday.com. And if you found us on Breathe and Play and you're a member, thank you so much for your support. And please join us again for another yoga video. Thank you, everyone. Mwah. See you soon.